Football 92, proudly brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors, BP Australia, CUB, Westpac, SIO, Vulcan and Mitre 10.
Well, welcome to Barcelona. Welcome to AFL Today, everyone. But before we go into the football action, we cross live to Castata Fells for all the canoeing action. Your commentator is Peter Landy.
That's Karen Borchert, Anke Bonsek and Ramona Portvik. Birgit Schmidt is their other representative, and currently they're vying for the lead with Hungary. The Hungarians in the green kayak, and next to them the Swedes in the blue with their bow just jutting into the picture there. The Australians a little bit off the pace at the moment, and pretty fast what it is too, being set by the Germans. Over on the other side, we have the Unified from the United States, Canada, and also China vying for the lead over in the middle of the canal. 250 metres gone, and their three leading kayaks are over on the near side. That's Germany, Sweden, and Hungary. Hungary in second place, and the Swedes possibly just second at the moment, and the Australians well off the pace here, and probably at this stage out of medal contention. But it's the German combination of Katrin Borchert, Birgit Schmidt, Anke Bonsek, and Ramona Portvik. First in the 91 championships, I'll get that right. They were first last year. They were first in the first semi-final, and they are the reigning world title holders. Second last year was Hungary. Viva Doritz, Kinga Singay, Erika Nazaros, and Rita Coben. They're coming down in the latter half of the race now, and the Hungarians, a great race for the lead here with the Germans. The Swedes just dropping back a little bit now, but probably still in contention for the bronze medal, and these two crews going neck for neck. There's nothing between the Germans and the Hungarians. They were certainly the two to take out the gold. It's going to be Hungary first, Germany second, and Sweden third, and the Australians finishing out of the medal contention and possibly coming in at about 8th place. So no luck there for the Aussies, but a great finish by Germany and a great finish by Hungary. The white flag, yes, it is given. And Hungary, Sweden and Germany, the top three. Hungary, Germany, Sweden in that order. 133.41, 138.41 for the Hungarians to oust the Germans from gold medal contention, and the Swedes, who was second or fifth rather last year, coming in third place. What a race that was. A tremendous effort by the three crews nearest the camera, with the Hungarians just edging out the Germans by about a foot, possibly a tad more, and the Swedes coming in third place to take out the bronze medal.
Well, welcome back to AFL Today. Time for some football action. We've got two big games tonight. Geelong and Fitzroy from Princess Park, Hawthorn and Collingwood from Waverley Park. And that's our first game tonight. Both sides needed the points. Collingwood to take that top two position and Hawthorn to make the final six. Brad Hardy finally made his debut for Collingwood. He replaced Craig Starcevich in the selected side. Your commentators at Waverley are Ian Robertson, Don Scott and Ross Glendenning. And we begin tonight with highlights of the first half.
Cross to Richardson. Looks promising as Pert gets a kick. It's a long one, really down in no man's land, but Morwood running onto it. He can go on quickly. He does. Left foot. Can he spot Hardy, who's just been included in this side?
Collins, his immediate opponent.
Former Brisbane Bear, Footscray player, puts it on its way. Has it come back? It has.
35 to 40 metres from the Hawthorn goal. Left behind, Morrissey, the freak. Mew! He may kick Hawthorn's first goal, he does!
Mew also playing like a loose man up on centre wing. Taylor, well done. Here's Chris Mew. Kicked a goal with his last kick. What's he done? It's long again. Hudson in front. No one around at all. And he takes a rather easy high mark.
And when you're kicking into the breeze, the best position is to be in front. What a lovely kick by Hudson. It's a goal.
Harrison. Dacos. Now Francis. Centre half forward. Look at Moncrief. Good positioning, big fellow. He's got no one around, but he's indecisive. They need this one, Collingwood. Trailing by 8 points. It's a good kick off the boot. It's got the distance. What about the accuracy? It's there.
Ball down towards Platten. Away to Jarman. Up towards the front of the goal square. Oh, Dunstall. It's going to be a goal anyway. It's kicked by Pritchard. bounces it with two hands, caught. But that Taylor, he followed that up beautifully. He's kicked to centre half forward. Oh, what a mark! Taken by Anthony Condon. And he plays on, kicks it wide. Here's Hall. Hall's kick, very low in front of Hudson. Hudson balks, turns, gets past Fraser. Shot for goal. It's touched, I think, by Morrissey, was it? No, it's a goal. Fumbles ever so slightly, but in a match with this sort of intensity, it's quite critical. Plattons kick to half forward, no mark to Hudson. Finds some space. He's going to kick a goal, Paul Hudson. Well done, he's kicked his third.
Now Francis picking up a lot of kicks around midfield, the little fellow. Back to Williams. Again back to Francis. What can Collingwood mount? They're looking for Dacos. And there he is. He hasn't let them down, number 35. Well done by Francis.
Finally finishes up with a footy.
Peter Dacos. The ball is on its way. And it's there.
Brown's kick up towards half forward. Mew goes back with the flight of the ball. In comes Rowe. He's 50 metres from goal. The kick has been chopped off. Picked up by McCartney. McCartney, who was recruited as a full foot. Dacos! Well done, the champion.
Free kick even, holding on from Collins.
Couldn't miss from there, could he? He does it. He kicks his second goal.
So at half-time, in an exciting game, Hawthorn led by 6 points. We pick up play in the third quarter. With 11.5 minutes remaining, Hawthorn now lead by 7 points.
A matter of 7 points now. 38 playing 45. And Alan McAllister, Collingwood president, in his customary position on the boundary line.
And he started in just his ordinary street clothes, but he's very quickly got hold of one of those Spices jackets as Scott McGuinness takes the ball away. His kick is towards Gowers. Here's Johnston at the back. He's got a bit of an opportunity to size it up. Kicks it up towards Hudson, who's been well held by Pert. Hudson well dispossessed there of Pert. From 50 metres, Paul Hudson goes for goal. What a wonderful kick by Paul Hudson. Oh, that is goal of the day so far. He really was out of position, courtesy of Gary Pert. Recovered his position and kicked his fourth goal.
Yeah, Pert almost looking for the boundary line there, realised he had no option, and he, as Robbo said, dispossessed his opponent very well. Had to have a shot at goal. There was no one up there to kick to. Oh, gee, did that very well.
Well, a very jubilant Paul Hudson. That was a great goal. Longhurst and Deer underneath it. Stands his ground and gets it down. Longhurst taking a bit too long in the run-up. This is Johnson. He's been impressive since coming on at half-time. Richardson going over the top of Francis, his teammate. And again, the umpire, David Howlett, coming in to put the ball down. David Howlett and Peter Carey in charge of today's game. Two experienced umpires, both with finals experience. Good bounce down. It's Deer who gets it down. Oh, a lot of pressure. That was good tackle by Condon across to Hudson, who lays it off. Ben Allen's going goalward, and he's drilled it. Well, Ben Allen, that's his first goal. And Hawthorn, 8-9-57. Collingwood, 5-8-38.
Well, Hawthorn having had most to play in the first 5-6 minutes of their forward line. Couldn't do much with it. Collingwood take it forward. And now, in the space of about 3 minutes, they kick two very important goals. And Allen, who's done a pretty good job on Francis, doing the damage on that occasion. Allen's had 18 and 5. Francis with 9 and 4, a fairly quietish day for that player.
Well, you said he was a good player at half-time, Ross, and he certainly carried it on in this third quarter so far.
Well, he's very clean with his skills, Robbie. He doesn't make many mistakes, doesn't fumble very often, and his fitness level's very good.
So Hawthorn go marching on. The boys just having a little bit of physical stuff there as the umpire prepares to restart play. Bounce back in the centre. Deer, who is just so predictable with that knockout. Condon, McGuinness, caught by Rowe. Down goes McGuinness and could be penalised. No, the umpire will come in and bounce it.
Well, see, Robert, my interpretation of that early is he gets a push in the back in the first instance.
Did he fall low as he was about to get
you
position?
Can't push players in the back. That's the thing they've got to be very careful on.
Well, they didn't get too many cheers when they left the ground at half-time, the umpires. Francis for Collingwood. Forced to kick quickly. Rocker coming into it a little bit now in this third quarter. Had a quiet first half. This is his 6th kick. He's kicked 1 goal. Dacos! Well done, Peter Dacos. He's had a lot of trouble shrugging Andrew Collins.
He's injured himself too, Peter Dacos, after taking that mark. Collins coming down on top of him.
It's made such a difference to Collingwood. Rocker just holding his own at centre-half forward.
Dacos really should kick this. Oh, it slips off the side of his boot. It's a disappointing result for the Magpies. It's just one behind to their champion half-forward. A very, very good goal kicker. There's Mick McGuan in the coach's box as Chris Mew kicks in short and finds Collins.
There's Dacos' man. Collins initiating play. Chip across to Langford. Langford half-back. Left half-back for Hawthorn. Nobody around as Condon gets it. Centre wing he goes, looking for Gowers. It's Pert in pursuit. Well done, Andrew Gowers, but it goes straight across to Russell. Desperate play there. As Turner attempting to play on, running into Langford, and lucky to get away with that. Jamie Turner, another chip out wide to that half-forward flank. This is Monkhurst, right half-forward flank, the big fellow. There's plenty of space down the ground for which Dacos to work. Now Dacos setting up a lead, trying. He's calling for the ball to come down quicker. Now it goes from Monkhurst over Dacos. Buttering up is Collins. Out to Dacos once again. Monkhurst, and he should take the mark. Should be a little quicker into the forward line now. Tries to get something, a chip. And Rowe takes it. Bradley Rowe, 60 metres from Collingwood's goal. Congested forward line. Puts it up high, hoping. It's a beautiful torpedo. Covered a lot of ground, which those torpedoes do if you can get onto it. But accuracy is a problem, and that's a 10th behind for Collingwood. 17 points the difference, 57 playing 40.
And the kick in comes towards this near half-back area where McGuinness marks. His short pass taken by Hall. In turn to McGuinness, who's run nicely from the back pocket. He kicks it in towards the centre of the ground. And Jarman running with the flight of the ball. He plays on quickly. The hook kick up towards full forward. No mark taken. The crumb gatherer, Hudson. Goal number 5. Oh, he's hit the post. 4 goals, 1 to Paul Hudson. And he must have been licking his chops then, Roscoe.
Yes, that's the easiest one. He missed there. Pert's been taken off him. Richardson's now got the job. Pert's picked up Gowers.
That's how it started. Richardson on Hudson.
Yes, correct.
Kerrison to bring it back into play. Goes in short. Just a little risky, but the mark taken by Fraser. Fraser in turn comes to this member's side. Mark is taken by Saunders. Saunders is a kick and a half from the Hawthorn goal. He bangs it well outside the danger area, but the mark is taken by Jarman. He's got two players on their own here. Mew is one of them, Platten was the other. He elected to go for Mew. Mew kicks it inside 50 metres. Marking contest, and it's a good one in the finish, taken there by Richardson, who's been a very, very good contributor for the Magpies. Possession number 15.
Rocker seems to be playing on the ball now because Monkhurst is down in the goal square for Collingwood. The big fellow, a prodigious kick of the football, and that is no exception. He's gone up to the front end of the Collingwood square. Williams running on it. Just couldn't quite get it away to Christian. If it does come off, the Collingwood would have been away. Now Pritchard in the centre of the ground for Hawthorn. Out wide. Is this Richardson? Yes, a desperate diving mark in front of Dunstall, and he'll relieve for Collingwood. Changes direction across the ground. Rocker once again gets his kick, and another mammoth kick to centre half forward, but doesn't find its mark because by himself is McGuinness. McGuinness lays it off to Jarman. Jarman in turn out to Deere. Deere lumbering after the ball, but he's got Johnson over the top, and he does that. Johnson can go to Gowers, and that's who he finds. Gowers half-forward flank for Hawthorn. Looking for Dunstall. Puts it up in his direction. Gayfer looking at Dunstall, then desperately tries to get a fist to it. But roving is Taylor. The high ball will land right in the goal square. Collingwood have got the numbers, but Hudson.
And you hot, aren't you?
3-on-1 situation. Collingwood had the numbers, but a desperate leap by Paul Hudson. Here it is on screen.
He looked as if he was going to be out of the contest there. He lost sight of the footy, then ran back onto it. Terrific mark, and Deere on the other side of the ground doing some good work there. Mobile for a big fellow.
Gee, little would you accept that this man languished in the reserves just a couple of weeks ago.
Can this be his 5th goal? He's kicked 4 goals, 1, Paul Hudson. Oh, could you believe it? Well, that's his 2nd behind. Should have really kicked that. 59 playing 40.
Yes, took that a little bit too easy, I feel. Richardson's kick finds Kerrison. Kerrison transfers play. Goes back to Richardson, who's made good position in front of the square. He bangs it a long way out towards the wing. Tony Shaw marks. Sweeping hand pass. Looks for Christian, who waits for it to bounce. Don't know whether that was the correct ploy. Handball over the top. Brad Rowe, but Fraser is very quick. Oh, look at this man go. Back him in the store gift if you ever see him start. Magnificent football. Collingwood a goal. Mark Fraser's first goal. The black and white magic says it all.
When I buy a van, it has to deliver. And I mean deliver. This Mitsubishi Express does it better than ever. It's got tons of power, loads of space, and all the creature comforts. But at the end of the day, I'm running a business, and I have to make money. That's why I buy Express.
Ralph? Got a minute?
Yeah, sure. Let it fly, mate. Oh, sorry.
Huh?
Bad joke.
What does extinct mean?
It means we don't exist anymore. Well, we used to be just endangered.
Australia's animals are under threat. So to mark our 175th birthday, Westpac has released this special collection of wildlife medallions to raise money for the Worldwide Fund for Nature.
Dead.
They're available through any Westpac branch.
Branch. What I wouldn't give to be back in a branch.
If your face was square, shaving would be simple. But your face has curves. Introducing the revolutionary Chic FX, the only twin-blade razor that flexes to follow the curves of your face. Chic FX. We're changing the face of shaving.
His dawn is good.
His Dawn Deli Supreme Tub.
His dawn is good.
18 slices of wonderfulness taste you can reseal to keep flavor fresh long time.
His dawn is good.
It's still good.
His dawn is good.
If a $60,000 property grew in value by 12% per annum, it would be worth over $180,000 in just 10 years. Between Brisbane and the Gold Coast, Australia's fastest growing area, units are available from $60,000 to $90,000. If a tenant was paying $100 a week rent, repayments would be reduced by that rent and the balance would become a legitimate taxation deduction. All you need is $10,000 deposit and from $20 a week. Call Investco now on 882 9999.
Starting Monday on Real Life.
It costs a fortune to look this tarty.
The fur will fly when we reveal Australia's best and worst dressed women.
It's much better to be included than not.
The Bad and the Beautiful, a special report starting Monday. And next week...
Don't say anything.
Teaching your man to cope with pregnancy.
I'm certainly developing quite an empathy with beached whales.
It's not as easy as they think.
Just gotta go to the toilet again.
Real Life, 6:30 weeknights on 7.
Rocco gets a hit down. Deere hasn't really been beaten in the centre bounce downs today. Gower's running onto it. That's Russell over the top of it. Platten throwing himself in. Head down. There's Brown ripping the ball out of Platten's hands and goes towards centre half forward. Look at the pushing, shoving. Hawthorn have got the numbers, but it's Rowe down. Punches on. Williams should run onto it. But there, is Langford. Stood his ground. And there's Rowe. Hardy just coming onto the ground. Platten didn't see him. But there's a free kick going. Platten's way, and the little fellow who's injured, he did not see Brad Hardy. He came up into change, and he doesn't look too good.
Brad Hardy was away, wasn't he?
Seems to be all right. He's a tough little customer. Hawthorn Rover and Johnson, who's done well on centre wing since coming on at half-time. Again, in turn, finds Allen. Hawthorn do it so well in the delivery of the ball department. Look at that from Deere. Terrific stuff across to Taylor. Now Hudson's by himself.
So is Mew.
And so's Gowers right in the square. And there is Mew. That should be a free kick.
Mew was there for half an hour.
Just got there in time. Oh, gee, that was a slow kick.
Chris Mew, who's already kicked 1 goal today in the first quarter. You see there on replay, he cops a high one.
Knew it was coming.
His first goal for the season, coming in the first quarter. Chris Mew played a loose man in the first quarter. Started at centre-half back, drifting into the forward line. Now he's drifting into that forward line once again. Normally a long kick of the ball. Accuracy is the problem. Rocker really didn't get a fist to it. But Dunstall got a boot to it. And that's his second. Jason Dunstall's kicked 2, and Hawthorn 9-11-65, leading Collingwood 6-10-46.
Yes, and the problem here, watch this. Gary Pert had a bit of a go at Rocker. He's punched the ball forward, Rocker. Trying to go to the goals. The ball's come forward. Gaffer saying he touched it, and Dunstall slams it through.
Gee, it was pretty ordinary defence by the Magpies, leaving Dunstall at the front of the pack by himself. 19 points, the Hawks lead. Rocker to Kerrison. Kerrison's kick looks for Rowe. McGuinness too tall for Brad Rowe. In goes Francis. Was he held too high? Brad Rowe about to break away with the football, but the umpire calls for a bounce. Centre half forward for Collingwood. Ray Jenke there. Done a pretty good job for the Hawks. He's had 4 kicks and 6 hand passes. But the 10 possessions he's had have all been quite effective. Brad Rowe gets his foot to the ball. Kicks it wide into the pocket. Hardy. Williams, very quick Paul Williams, can't break the tackle, yes he can. Handball over the top, into the square. Kerrison, they're going to mess it up. No, they're not. Kerrison's going to kick. Looks like a goal. It is. Kerrison kicks his first goal. And Collingwood just hit back a little bit. They're still hanging in there, the Magpies, and in a low-scoring contest, they must still be a chance.
Yes, he's got a bit of a limp up too, Kerrison. Hardy, the player, I think he came on to replace Turner. Player's gone off. Yes, and Kerrison, I'm sure he's injured himself here, just falling awkwardly. He limped back toward the centre. Is it left hamstring possibly? He's got his hand at the back of his leg there. He has had hamstring problems.
And Rocker has done well of these centre bounces since coming in. Deera gets it down. Monkhurst now on the bench. Turner. It's a real scramble. There's Rocker getting the left foot to it, sending it goal, and it's running Collingwood's way. Who can capitalise? It's Hawthorn. It's Langford who sends the ball back from where it's come. Rocker, the big leap. The big fella can't control it, but Collingwood get it quickly. That was Turner. Collins and a desperate mark by Mew. Chris Mew covering a lot of ground today at centre half-back. He'll relieve for Hawthorn. He's got Deer out to his left if he wants him. He's also got Allen out there to his left, but he's a bit slow, Chris Mew. Does the predictable thing. Usually does kick the ball long, Mew. Centre wing it goes. Ball down, Pritchard. Looking for Condon, who just can't get away from Russell. He does. Well done, Anthony Condon. Good contest there. Condon a little closer to goal and centre wing. Puts it up, hoping. Taylor in front. Punched down by Pert. Gower's running onto it. Handballs it out in front. Now Dunstall. He'll set it up and lay it off, which he does. Oh, Hudson just getting a boot. Can this roll through? No, it doesn't, but there's a free kick. It's going back to Paul Hudson. He was pushed after he got rid of the ball. Gary Pert, the culprit. And watch this on replay.
Right in the back from Saunders. Definitely a free kick.
My apologies to Gary Pert. Barry Rawlings, former Hawthorn player, as is Lee Matthews. Brains trust at Collingwood. Paul Hudson, who's been a little inaccurate in recent minutes. He's only kicked 4 goals. He's kicked 4 goals, 2 to be precise. And that now is 5 goals, 2.
It's easy to dress up any house and contents insurance package to look the same. Lots of insurance policies promise new for old replacement, but most have severe age limits on contents. 5 years is useless. 10 years is not much better. But SIO's plain English policy is different. There's definitely no age limit, just genuine new replacement, and no need to prove how old things were. For genuine house and contents insurance, call SIO. Insurance as it should be.
Whoa, are you okay? Sure. Just thought I'd drop in. Would you like a drink? Oh, you bet.
I know. Let's have some fun. Let's nibble Nobby's nuts.
So many things. Ooh, yeah. Great things to do. Great, 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 great. All in one place. Yeah, yeah. Under the water. Up in the air. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, party time. This is the best. Great, 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 great. Careful. Forget the rest.
Striking savings at Dimmies and Forges Winter Stock Take Sale. Dickies towels, plain flannelette and printed cotton sheets, all $6.99. Ladies brush Turleen dressing gowns, $12.99. Men's and ladies tracksuits, $9.99. Ladies socks and hosiery, men's jackets, all 99 cents. Plain and printed fleecy sweats and famous maker Western shirts, $5.99. Ladies bras, singlets and long sleeve Spencers, $4.99. $19.99 for national brand men's jackets and parkas. Pure wool blankets, also just $19.99. At Forges, Fitzroy and Dimmies, Richmond, Ringwood and Geelong.
This month's Inside Sport tells how Collingwood wear the badge of hate with pride. But other footy fans would like to see them burn in hell. Athletes or entertainers. The world's big money sport is now controlled by the merchants of tennis. Australian basketball can't do without him. Wroblewski, the camera-shy boss of the Sydney Kings. Inside Sport tells how Swans coach Gary Bacanara once thought to take his own life. All this and more in the August issue of Inside Sport. Out now.
From the Melbourne team at Barcelona. News of the Olympics from the news source. Plus football and local sports results. Not just any news. Jennifer Kite and 7 Nightly News.
So at three-quarter time, Hawthorn has skipped away somewhat. They lead by 19 points. We pick up play early in the final quarter. There's been no addition to the score.
The boundary line looming up a little too early there for Tony Shaw. So well within scoring distance for the Magpies. We're just in the early part of the last quarter. Shaw, his kick goes up to the front of the goal square. It beats all players. Oh, Brad Hardy will kick a goal. No, he won't. Should have kicked that, Roscoe, shouldn't he?
Yes.
I think if he has a look at that on the replay, it'll cause him a few headaches.
Yes, it's one of those ones you'd normally eat, Robbo. No doubt he's a good snapshot around goal.
But more importantly, the timing. Collingwood badly needed a goal. And look at this kick in. It gives Jenke metres and metres of space. His delivery in front of Johnston. Johnston nearly beaten for it by Williams, but able to recover. Pritchard, handball back to Johnston was excellent. Johnston's kick into the pocket. No mark taken. Pert punched away into the path of Hudson. Hudson still with the football, gave for the tackler. Punched on by Jason Taylor. Morrissey. Dunstall. Very, very close to the boundary line. Dunstall kicks it and kicks it out of bounds on the full in the right forward pocket for the Hawks. The free kick to be taken for Collingwood. Back there by Jamie Turner. Turner, who is quite an effective player for the Magpies. He struggled a little bit this year to hold his place in the team. But usually does a pretty good job for his side when he does make the final 20. That kick was ordinary, but fortunately marked by Russell.
Yes, fortunate the word. Richardson chipping it out and finding Saunders. Saunders left half back flank for Collingwood. Centre wing, he sends it. Shaw just can't trap it before it goes over the boundary line, beating he and Mew. Chris Mew doing well at centre half back, running deep into the forward line. Rocker and Deere. Punched by Deere. Well done, Greg Deere. Just unfortunately just couldn't find a man.
Just looking back to it, Brad Hardy still chastising himself for that miss. As Robbo said, it could be timely.
Ball midway between centre wing and Hawthorn's right half-forward flank. Rocker. So they're sure holding on to Condon. Condon can't control it, but pulls it out. Hall. Johnson. Williams could have gone maybe a little harder, then Taylor coming through. This is Shaw. What can he set up? He's got someone centre wing. And that's the player he looks for and finds. That's Russell. Russell's got options. Over the top to Rowe he goes. What's Rowe got further down the field? Dacos trying to give him a lead. Is that going to be the mark? No, straight over the top to Monkhurst. The big fellow, well done, strength on Jenky. Just too strong. Dacos gave the lead. It was ignored. And it found its mark. You see there the height, the strength of Monkhurst. He had the sit and an easy chest mark. Jenky desperately trying to push his body against a stronger Monkhurst.
She's just too big and strong. They're well set up by Collingwood. They're coming down their Rose pace. Fellow forwards gave Monkhurst room.
He's already kicked one. It was a beautiful goal in the first quarter, Damien Monkhurst. What has he done here? He's put it right across the goal face. That's when Collingwood desperately need goals.
You really can't afford to miss chances like that in such a tight game.
Not at all. I mean, that really all it does is take the pressure off Brad Hardy.
Well, Langford surely must be quite relieved. And he will kick it back into play for Hawthorn. He goes pretty well straight up the ground. Nice kick by Chris Langford. Fraser, Rowe, may get one here. Brad Rowe streaming, and he puts it through. Collingwood get the goal.
Mitre 10 presents the great Aussie winners. Wattle Solar Guard paint and Titan nails. Good grief, plum hammers. Look at this, Lufkin tape measures. Marley, Laser Light 2000. Yes, yes, Bradford insulation. Bosch power tools and James Hardy plank. Boral Cyclone gardening tools. Magnificent. Bailey ladders. And look at this, Kinnear's rope. Aussie winners, hardware bargains. Just ask Mitre 10.
The days are grey, the nights are long, so turn it on, turn it on, oh turn it on, show me what you've got, turn it on, 'cause when you're hot, you're hot.
Philips believe an image should be as close to reality as possible. With a range of natural colour large screen televisions, that image can come to life. With FSQ Black Invotube and colour transient improvements, Philips large screen televisions now breathe life into everything you see.
Philips, take a closer look. The problem with most savings accounts is that nothing much ever seems to happen. But with an ANZ high performance account, something happens every day. ANZ calculates interest daily, pays it quarterly, and the more you save, the higher the rate. And because you earn interest on your interest, you'll get to enjoy what you're saving for that much quicker. You see, nothing grows fatter, faster than an ANZ high performance account. Simple, isn't it? Well, it is when you bank with ANZ.
Squirt out the words. For quality printing that's portable too.
Squirt, squirt, squirt.
For cut sheet printing, here's what to do.
It's a bubble jet.
One of the quietest printers you've ever heard.
A bubble jet printer.
For A3 printing, just squirt out the words.
Squirt, squirt, squirt.
Whisper quiet printers for any need. The Squirts from Canon.
Steve's back in full force with the B-52, sensational Randy Crawford, Guian, Chris Wilson and more. Tonight live, Monday.
Well, it's a tight final quarter, but let's move on. We rejoin play with 9.5 minutes remaining. Neither side has scored a goal, and Hawthorn lead by 15 points.
10-16 to 8-13. Hawks by 15 points, 9.5 minutes left. Gary Pert goes to the far side. Fraser can't take the mark and falls over, but Jarman has infringed against Mark Fraser. Mark Fraser will take the free kick for Collingwood.
Good free kick, actually.
16 possessions to Mark Fraser.
Jarman was holding up play. Francis has the ball in front of Platten. Two Terriers, Francis and Platten. McCartney in front on this occasion, but can't control it. Started at centre-half back, McCartney. Went off the ground, now is back on as centre-half forward. could be half forward flank with Brown playing at centre half forward on Mew. Shaw. Across to Fraser, left foot. Behind is Mew. Having the height advantage on Gavin Brown, but Brown's got the mobility. It's an interesting battle, interesting matchup between those two. Ball 60 metres from Collingwood's goal. Kicking to left of screen, Collingwood. Shaw, high ball. Hardy in front of this occasion. Happy to bring it down. What can Rowe do? Nothing, because he was pushed over the boundary line with it. And again, the ball to be thrown in, but it's edging ever so close to those Collingwood goals. Hard to get it out of that pocket. Got to open up that goal face somehow. Maybe a free kick against McCartney, but Hawthorn have got the break. Condon. Centre wing it goes, but Monkhorst will be the only player there with Gowers coming in. Well done, Gowers. Well done also Monkhorst to get it across to Christian, in turn finds Williams centre wing.
Paul Williams now takes just a slight risk in towards the centre. Bounce was kind for Russell, or he made it good. Short pass over the top of Dacos. Kick off the ground by Ben Allen. Rebounds, Langford. Oh, he's just so composed, Chris Langford. And he's going to turn defence into attack here. Jarman looking to get onto his right foot, then messed it up in the finish. Richardson in front of Hudson. Richardson tackled by Pritchard, but the free kick is going to Richardson, a holding offence against Paul Hudson. Short pass is good. Tony Shaw, away to Fraser. They need someone to carry the football. The static short passing is a little too predictable. Tony Francis goes back to Shaw. Shaw's kick. Monkhorst, the big fellow. Still no one really to kick it to. They've had about 6 possessions and gone about 40 metres closer to goal.
Well run, Francis.
Francis into the pocket. Dacos has got it this time.
Oh, has Collins hurt himself on the mark?
Dacos would be a chance from here. He kicked the goal earlier.
Yes, and the sheer persistence of Tony Francis to make position, run hard, get the ball off Monkhorst has created an opportunity.
But Dacos will have to kick the ball about 45 metres. Short, Francis, marks, not Francis, Hardy rather. Now Brad Hardy, who missed a fairly simple shot earlier in this quarter, he's kicked one. For a man who was a last-minute replacement in the side for Starcevic, could be a bit of a dream come true for Brad Hardy in his first game for the Magpies. Shooting from 30 metres. Oh, the Hawthorn fans are pretty excited. He's kicked his 4th behind for the day. 1-4 to Brad Hardy, and still the Magpies trail by 14 points.
It just about sums up Collingwood's position as you looked in the coach's box. I think they're resigned to the fact that they're going to lose this. They're 14 points behind. A nudge out, that should be paid. Yes. Tony Hall receiving the free kick. It was against Scott Russell.
He's had a good day. 11 marks, 15 kicks, 9 handballs.
Short again to Pritchard. But just over 5.5 minutes left here. Hudson, Richardson behind, ball to ground. Platten first onto it, can't get it out and run it. Ah, so he didn't make an attempt. The ball was down around his buttocks, or his thigh area, and his hands were out in front.
If there's ever a fair dinkum bloke on the ground that would make every effort to move it, it's Jay Platten.
I think that's what he's suggesting to the umpire too.
I think he had a just argument then. Collingwood changed direction of play. It's Richardson back into the square, high to the front end of the square. McCartan coming across Brown, played on, maybe stupid play. Oh, was he being paid the free kick? Because he was definitely off.
Didn't go over the man in the mark.
Russell out to Hardy. Traps it well, Brad. Now he could kick this. It's a long ball. It's going goalward. He's 5th behind Brad Hardy. 1 goal, 5.
Well, they're catching up at the behinds. It's still trailed by 2 goals, 1. Langford to kick it back. 4.5 minutes left. Short kick. Hawks would be pretty happy with just possession football. Deere and Allen. Allen's kick, oh, that's a free kick against Jarman. It's pretty obvious, Darren. Oh, dear. Maybe he thought it was a bit ticky Touchwood. Turner's kick finds Monkhorst. Gee, he nearly dropped that, Damien. There's about 2.5 kicks from the Collingwood goal. The fans, no one has left the ground.
Very slow in moving that ball into the forward line, Monkhorst.
Looking for someone to give him a lead. McCartney punched away by Jenke, close to the boundary line. Hardy made something of it, but well, his efforts weren't all that bad. It only just went over the boundary line on the full.
Yep, if Alec just come inside a bit, he would have been right, would have been the right thing.
Kick will be taken by Langford in that right back pocket.
Collins providing the option if Chris Langford wants to change direction of play. A little bit too slow on that occasion too, Chris Langford.
Going to go over his mark.
Just over 3 minutes to play. Maybe he's taking an unnecessary risk. Langford high ball out to that pack. This is what Hawthorn want to see it over the boundary line. Yes, and the umpire, the Collingwood players appealing.
The boys were game earlier, but they're not too game in the last quarter when there's only 13 points the difference.
Greg Deer's intent was to put it over the line. Tony Shaw giving up the chases again, once again goes over the line, and this is what Collingwood don't want, but it is exactly what Hawthorn want, because that time clock is ticking down. Just over 2.5 minutes left. Deer has battled manfully today. They've wasted nearly 30 seconds out there, Hawthorn.
I think they've got to get Monkhorst into that ruck to try and get the ball to someone who can run with it.
Deer, over the back is Allen. Jenke, Rowe. We've got to get it down there quickly. Maybe time's running out for Collingwood. This is Allen. Oh, Hardy pushed Allen out just as he's about to take the mark, but the umpire's paying it.
Out on the false has been Allen.
Brad Hardy. What's he got? He's got the high ball and it's going down rocker direction. He can take a big mark, the strong fella, but it's Langford. Well done, Chris Langford. He's the captain today of this Hawthorn side with injuries to Ayres, also Brereton. Oh, he's collected Jamie Turner. He's been solid today. Hawthorn has still got the numbers. It's a 4-on-2 situation and they get out just the 3 numbers. Langford, Johnson. Delivers the ball well, both left and right foot, just Johnson. And that time it finds its mark in Hudson.
Hudson has the football at left half forward. Kicks it into the pocket. Dunstall can't take the mark. He's had a pretty quiet day. Gaffer gives it up to Gowers. Gowers kick to the front of the square. Morrissey can't mark. Goes after it again, but in comes Pert, strong in defence. And the ball bundled over for a throw-in that left forward pocket for the Hawks. Down close to a minute now. Gary Pert being quite talkative down there. The Hawthorn fans coming to life. It's been an interesting game. Monkhorst takes it away, kicks it back towards half-back. Williams takes the mark. Got to take some risks, the Magpies. Williams has the football at right half-back. Kicks it towards the wing. McCartney can't mark the football. Jenke's opponent. And the ball will be thrown in right on the players' interchange area.
Well, they've wanted the ball, Hawthorn, right from the start. It was a matter of catch-up football as far as Collingwood are concerned. The scoreline really doesn't flatter the Hawthorn effort today. They were quite superb in the first quarter as Platten goes onto that ball. Off the ground up to centre-half forward. Using his body well, Michael Christian on Gowers. Chips it across to Francis. Time will run out for Collingwood as they change direction of play and endeavour to run it out through Saunders. Centre wing he goes, high ball. Fraser will keep his eye on the ball, but what an excellent mark by Darren Jarman. Jarman finds space and there's a player all by himself in Dunstall, who in turn chips it across to Hudson, and through it goes for Hawthorns. 11.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1992 AFL Premiership season.
Well, in the end, it was a 19-point victory to Hawthorn. They won 11-16-82 to Collingwood 8-15-63. For Hawthorn, Hudson was back to his best with 6 goals. Dunstall also got 2. For Collingwood, Dacos got 2. Well, that's 2 losses on the trot now for Collingwood, and they really are under some sort of pressure. Hawthorn remain in the race, but for us, it's time to take a break.
SIO's House and Contents Insurance Package has special low rates for retired people. Call for your free copy of SIO's buying guide. SIO, insurance as it should be.
It's a great day to be out on the road, but it could easily become the worst day of your life. You can't change the situation, but how would you like a second chance to choose your tyres?
Can tyres make a difference?
Good you can. If it only saves you once a year, it's a good year.
You'll do what I tell you.
He's at it again.
I've had just about enough of this.
Violence against women in the community is a community problem.
That's it. Better call the police.
If you see or hear violence, report it to the police. It's not only your right, it's the right thing to do.
They're on their way.
Violence is a crime. Ignoring it is inexcusable.
Owning a pool can be fun, but finding a builder you can really trust isn't easy. At Exclusive, a family company, we've been quietly building quality pools for 15 years. 10 years ago, we were building family-sized pools for around $7,000. For a limited time only, we'll build you the same pool for the same price. That's right, a family-sized pool for just $6,990. Here's a real opportunity to save several $1,000s on your new pool. It's your money. Call now.
This Sunday, Burke Street will go back to the way it was. We'll also pull down the Rialto building and clean up the Yarra. See Melbourne the way it was in our full-colour lift-out. Melbourne City Council's 150th. It all makes sense in the Sunday age.
Sprint into Tuckamag and be the first to get your hands on these winning specials.
You'll be on a winner with Swept soft drink varieties, just 99 cents. 500 gram Miracle Margarine, again only 99 cents. A number 15 Ingham's Frozen Chicken is a real champion at just $3.99. And you can't lose with Nescafe Blend 43 Instant Coffee, only $5.89.
So come and join in the fun and games at your local Tuckamag. And don't forget to bring your scan and win card.
We'll look out for you at Tuckamag.
It's all the greatest cities rolled into one, and the greatest accolade.
That Melbourne is the world's most livable city.
Jennifer Kite looks at our city today, 150 years after its incorporation. The centre for arts, business, architecture, food, and of course, sport.
Yet this city is not just livable, it's lovable too.
A fascinating 2-hour special in celebration of Melbourne's anniversary. 8:30 Wednesday, Melbourne, the living city, on 7.
Our second game this evening is at Princess Park between Fitzroy and Geelong. Well, Geelong haven't beaten Fitzroy there since 1976. Billy Brownless got a reprieve. He was dropped on Thursday night, but replaced Spiro Malakalis in the selected side. So a big chance for Billy Brownless. Your commentators are Tim Watson, Peter McKenna and myself. We pick up play in the first quarter. Geelong at 2-3, Fitzroy at 2-2.
Fitzroy will try and exploit Ablett, with Gale running down the ground at every opportunity on the way back.
Well, Barnes locked hands with his opponent, Abbott, but it come to Merriman. Merriman goes long. Couch on the bottom of the pack, out as far as McNish. He tries to dunk it out. That should be holding the ball. Good decision, umpire. Seacamp, a great tackle. Quickly moves it on to Roos. Roos on to Abbott, who's coming into the game now. Fitzroy looking good, kicking into probably a 2-goal breeze. At the back of the pack was McGrath, the Morris medal winner. Long sweeping handball there from Johnson. On to Armstrong. Armstrong on to Wind, who centres the ball looking for Lynch. Lynch, good body work. Disposed of Hanley and sat back and took an excellent mark.
And that was the perfectly placed kick then by Wine. Lynch really was in the right spot. He had his man Handley exactly where he wanted him, leaned on him, created a little bit of space for himself and took a very strong mark.
So Alistair Lynch, one of the best fullbacks in AFL, lines up for goal. He's already missed one, but this one's coming back straight through the middle, Alistair Lynch. Fitzroy take the front, take the lead, 3-2 to Geelong, 2-3.
And Fitzroy, who have been down in the doldrums for the past month, showing a lot of sparkle here in the first quarter. They're a side full of runners right from the back line, where Roos doesn't mind leaving his opponent to run forward. They've got Stevens, who's playing across the forward line, one of the fittest players in the AFL, Jimmy Wine, and they're getting a lot of value from their on-ballers early in the game.
So
So back to the centre bounce. 5 points the margin. Barnes won that one. Ablett, he played for the free and got it. I think it was there, but he certainly did stage it.
He made sure of it. He'll have a shot from here.
He might too if he goes to torpedo. Yes! Have a look at this. Great goal, Ablett. Wow. Gary Ablett has bombed it. What a sensational kick. And Geelong hit the front.
Well, I tipped it, Macca. I tipped it. I said he'd have a shot for it.
What's your name, Mike Williams?
Williams is back in commentary.
He's back in town, Mike Williams.
Oh, don't you love to see a bloke get hold of it?
I nearly lost my voice. I was so excited. The booming torpedo. Well, the crowd roaring with delight. Not often you see the booming torp. We saw it then from Ablett, and it's a free kick to Geelong, and it is going the way of Barnes.
Well, that may challenge Jeff Ferring's kick as the longest in AFL football because it went through post height. Barnes drives Geelong into attack, but taking the mark for Fitzroy was Seacamp. Chip kick finds Johnson. Johnson doing quite well, Tim, a player, next teammate of yours.
Yes, he's a very disciplined player, David Johnson.
Once again, Seacamp brings the ball out to the members' wing. Good tap over the back was off from Osborne, but only as far as Bruns. Onto another red-headed Stoneham who goes on the left foot. What a balanced player he is. Not a great kick, however, looking for McNish. Fitzroy with numbers. Abbott onto Seacamp. Once again, onto Armstrong. Onto his left foot. Straight up the corridor. Bruce is looking dangerous up there. But backing back for Fitzroy was Ross Lyon.
He's got some courage this point.
Yes. Well, Ross Lyon's been moved on to Mansfield, who was dangerous early. Dummies the handball, then goes long. Lynch pushed out his opponent in Barnes and has been penalised. So John Barnes will take the free kick for Geelong. And his statistics will, after this kick, be 5 kicks. But he has dominated those centre bounces.
Well, he started off very well. In fact, it's a make or break time for John Barnes, really, whether he's going to make it as a regular league player. He's promised so much over the years. Now, here's Kenny Hinkley. He's made it. He's a top player, Hinkley. Broderick, one hand, can't take it. Gary Hocking. Oh, hip and shoulder by Blakey was good, strong stuff. Stoneham to Scott. Scott racing round the boundary line, centres the ball. Good team play, but Winders dropped the mark. There's Guard. Now Forsman. Now Bairstow. Bairstow bombs away at goal and kicks it out of bounds on the full.
See, that was a bad mistake then by Bairstow too. He just blazed away. He had Miles who'd snuck down there near the 10-metre square, and Bairstow really didn't even look back into the centre of play, and that's poor play for someone who's so experienced.
Having to bring the ball back for Fitzroy. They've got Lynch at full forward, and they do look a hell of a lot more dangerous than him up there. Abbott should have marked that, allows Scott to pick it up. His short pass was looking for Miles. Miles' handball was astray, and Robert Scott takes the ball over the boundary line.
Gee, they're not going to get it all their own way, Gerard, are they, Geelong?
No, it's a tight opening. Everything heading towards a good game of football. Merriman couldn't take it. Stoneham went off the ground, but the ball was out of bounds before he kicked it. So no penalty, and a throw-up will take place deep in attack for Geelong. One of the strengths of Geelong is their height all around the ground. So it's Stoneham, gets the ball to the ground. Jimmy Wine, beaver-like, goes after it. But it's stopped on the full forward line for Geelong, and another ball up.
There was some interesting clashes there, and one of them today will be Jimmy Wine and Scott. I think those two players, very fit running players.
The bounce in front of the Geelong goal. Stoneham doing the ruck work. Here's Forsman. Now Merriman. Merriman a good hand pass to Couch. Couch dodging, weaving. Stabs in a goal. Touched by Scott. Here's Wine. Around the corner, Wine. Courage needed. Oh, all players showed courage. Tremendous play. Here's a free kick. Advantage paid to Seacamp. Has a bounce. Races away from half-back. Fitzroy looking good. Up towards half-forward. No mark to Fleming. Umpire calls play on as Bairstow from half-back to Bruns. And the umpire's found a free kick behind the play here. It will go the way of Bairstow. And he'll take the kick at half-back. Now he can kick it wide. Couch is on his own. Osborne back with the flight. Couch taps it down to Simpson. Couch again, can give it to Brownless. Oh, he had it a long time. That could have been holding the ball. Brownless looking for Couch. Guard runs at the ball. Here's Broderick. Oh, look at the pace of Stoneham. Gee, I'd like to back him in a 400-metre race. Gee, didn't he show some pace? He ran straight past those Fitzroy players then.
He's got great endurance and great speed for a big man, Barry Stoneham. And Brownless has just come on to the ground, and he's replaced John Barnes. Gone straight to centre-half forward, and Stoneham's gone into the ruck.
Well, this is a move they were using earlier in the season, although it was Mensah that was coming onto the ground. So Blight using that same tactic with his tall men. Long kick into the forward line. Lynch at the back. Spoiled by Handley. Picked up by Fleming, but he couldn't do anything with it. Good tackle there from Scott. And a boundary throw in deep in attack for Fitzroy, who have done well in this quarter.
Dale Fleming, a former Marsden College champion junior footballer at half forward. Now here's Ablett.
Could he kick it from there, Pete?
No, but I'll tell you what, he'll kick it a long way. Oh, he went the top again, but off the side of the boot this time. Racing after it, McNeish versus Seacamp. McNeish in towards full forward. The lead is on. No mark to Miles. Good play by Caven. Put the pressure on, and then he taps it back to the line, and that was good defensive football by Peter Caven.
There's a lot of skill shown then by Andrew McNeish too. He just turned, he was under pressure, and he speared that pass in, and really Miles made a mess of it. Difficult one to take going flat out, but the ball was in the right slot.
Brownless brings the ball to the ground. He's a late inclusion, replacing Malakalos in the selected side. So he gets another chance to cement his place with the finals coming up for Geelong. They do, however, need to win this game with only 13 wins on the board. Fitzroy will not lay down. They're very competitive at the present time. They're 1 point in front. They're 1 point behind, I should say. Scott brings the ball forward to Ablett, round the corner. It's another great goal with the master. So Gary Ablett kicks his second sensational goal for the afternoon. And Geelong move further ahead 4-3 to 3-2.
Well, that ball that spilled out then was created by pressure applied by the Geelong forwards on the Fitzroy backman, and Ablett is just so dangerous, this man, as we saw earlier in the quarter, a booming torpedo from the centre of the ground, and that on that occasion showing all the agility of a small man and snapping truly.
The bounce in the centre, Abbott versus Stoneham. I like seeing Stoneham on the ball. He really fires Geelong. Jeremy Gard to the half-forward line. Fleming, well, couldn't take the mark. This is Simpson. Simpson around the corner. Punched on and over the line. I think that was Seacamp, it was. So good courageous play that by Seacamp.
Seacamp's a very good player. He's very athletic, very quick. The only thing that they've been working on with him is his kicking. He's had poor disposal, but that will come in time.
It's at half forward for Geelong. They have the aid of a slight breeze. There's Ablett doing the ruck work, and they've found the free kick again to Abbott, I think, against Brownless. That's the risk you run when you haven't got your normal ruckman, and you've got forwards doing the ruck work. They haven't got the same skill. Oh, play on, the umpire calls. Bit stiff. Good mark to Bairstow running back with the ball. He can give it across to Stoneham. Stoneham will mark and race off. Danger here for Fitzroy. Stoneham bombs it in long. Oh, he's kicked it straight to Abbott. That was poor play by Stoneham.
It was good play by Abbott then to sit himself down into that hole, though.
Well, that was a pretty ordinary kick. Went over the head of Jimmy Wine. Out of bounds when Fitzroy should have done better with that.
Abbott saw where that ball was going to go, Pete. He saw Stoneham coming down the field and that Miles would lead to that hole, and he moved across well.
Brownless brings the ball to ground. Guard comes up with it. Players dive on the pack. The ball not going anywhere, so a ball up will take place almost centre wing. Geelong lead by 7 points. Just under 3 minutes of play remaining. Good smother there from Brownless on guard. He'd be fired up, Billy. Dropped out of the side on Thursday night, and always an embarrassment for a senior player like that, but he has been given a second chance by Blight.
Centre wing, that's a free kick to Stoneham against Abbott this time. Abbott, I don't think there was any doubt on that. He interfered with Stoneham in towards, oh, danger here, Ablett. Oh, will he go the torpedo? Let's hope so. Have a shot, Gary. I think he's going to chip it in. He did the team thing. to Miles, but I bet the crowd was hoping he'd go the long bomb.
Well, as soon as he grabbed hold of that ball, a murmur went around the crowd, and you could just see people willing him to have another shot.
Well, full marks to Ablett because he did the disciplined thing and found Miles, who had made a good lead. Now, cute angle. Jeff Miles going for his second. Normally a good kick. Kicks it out to the right. You know, don't ever give a bloke a rap in front of goal. Oh, it's punched back. Danger to Couch. Goal. So a fist back into play has resulted in a Geelong goal, and the Cats move on to 5-3 to Fitzroy 3-2.
To develop the most advanced four-wheel drive in the world, we tested it in the most rugged country on earth.
I've been working here for 7 months now, right? So if I leave, how much holiday pay have I racked up?
I work long hours and I don't think I'm being paid enough. How can I check?
I've heard I have to pay my workers 3% superannuation. Is that right?
They've docked my pay.
What are your rights under your award? And what are your award obligations? If you've got questions to ask about your award, we've got the answers. Because now, your rights are on the line. Wage line, 655 1333.
Oh my goodness, a check!
GIO Australia have more ways to save money on protection for your home. Phone GIO Australia for a better deal on your household insurance.
The One, a brand new album from Elton John.
In the instant that you love someone, in the second that
The One, 11 new songs recorded in Paris and London. Elton John, The One, the album, in your store now.
If a $60,000 property grew in value by 12% per annum, it would be worth over $180,000 in just 10 years. Between Brisbane and the Gold Coast, Australia's fastest growing area, units are available from $60,000 to $90,000. If a tenant was paying $100 a week rent, repayments would be reduced by that rent and the balance would become a legitimate taxation deduction. All you need is $10,000 deposit and from $20 a week. Call Investco now on 882 9999.
I've just turned 19 and, shouldn't I get a pay rise? And how do I check?
Now you can find out your award entitlements. Because now your rights are on the line. Wage line, 655 1333.
The people, the places, the pictures, the stories. A new view from a positive perspective. Television's latest rating success, Real Life, to be telecast around Australia from 7 Melbourne.
I'm Stan Grant. Join me for Real Life, following Jennifer Kite and 7 Nightly News.
User-friendly new age computers. Excuse me. The Palm Top, the Interactive, the world of virtual reality. A Beyond 2000 special, 8:30 Tuesday.
Well, wasn't that a fantastic goal by Gary Ablett? And yes, Tim Watson, you certainly did tip it. At quarter time, Geelong led by 13 points. Let's go to some highlights of the second quarter.
Halfway between centre wing and half forward, kicks it long, looking for someone to take a mark. Oh, big mark, Ablett! Great mark at the back. And he might have hurt himself. Could have ended up with a corky out of that. No, he's all right. Here's Jeremy Gard. So again, too slow to get rid of the ball. He should have been onto his left foot and belting it down to the forward line. Riccardi runs. Riccardi again, the loose man has been created. Bairstow, Robert Scott, great play, the Cats. Oh, Scott, tremendous play. He's found McNeish. Scott could have blazed away. What good team play, Robert Scott.
Creating that handball.
There's the kick. It's a goal to McNeish.
So at half-time, Geelong led by 3 goals. Fitzroy 6-5-41, Geelong 9-5-59. We pick up play midway through the third quarter. Geelong now lead by 19 points.
Perhaps the ball's a little bit wet now too. It might have just slid off his boot.
Well, you stick up for your mates, don't you? There's the kick by Stoneham. In towards centre half forward. Oh, almost a mark, not taken. As players go to ground, that slippery ball making it difficult for the players. So it'll be a bounce at half forward for Geelong.
What do you mean I stick up for my mate?
I'm sure you would have played state football with Barry Stoneham, Tim.
Paul Roos.
Oh, sorry, Paul Roos, I meant to say.
Here's the ball up. Here he is on screen, Paul Roos. This time he finds his own man in Abbott. Abbott knocks the ball forward, but he hasn't got any support. Couch comes forward with the left foot. Slews off the side of the boot. At the back of the pack was Brown. But a free kick has been paid to Fitzroy, but now advantage is being paid. Guard runs with the ball, takes a bounce and gives it to Blakey. They've got some runners, Fitzroy. Roderick went back into play, put himself under pressure, as does Stevens. They'll be dispossessed here. And that's what happened with Riccardi, but he kicks it only as far as Johnson. Geelong are just starting to struggle a little bit. They'd want to get a couple of goals on the board. Tapping it in front there. There's that player in Fleming. He gets it as far as Forsman. Forsman takes it over the boundary line for a throw-in.
I really don't think Alistair Lynch could be 100% fit. I know he's had that spur on the heel that's troubled him all year, and he's just not moving as quickly as he can. As we see Stoneham fisting it away. Here's Geelong. Here's Merriman. Now Riccardi. He's quick. Riccardi, that awkward-looking right foot kick to Couch. Couch playing on. Danger, because Robert Scott can go over the top. Brownless. Brownless on the left foot. Bolts it through for a goal. So, Billy Brownless kicks his first.
And a real steadier for Geelong. Fitzroy was starting to gain some momentum in this quarter, running a lot harder perhaps than Geelong, who took the foot off the accelerator. And that's a great steadying goal from Brownless, and that'll do his confidence a lot of good also.
Well, I've been impressed with Brownless's performance today.
He's worked hard.
Back in the centre, Geelong have a comfortable lead at present, but they are kicking with a wind, and Fitzroy will come home with that wind. Good work in the middle of the ground by Broderick. He weaves through the pack and delivers the ball forward, but it looks like Bairstow running with the flight. He couldn't control it, but Hinkley dances his way through the field. He's a balanced player and one of Peter McKenna's favourites. Yep, through with the left foot. Poor kick from the potential Brownlow medalist, only as far as Abbott. And Abbott has Roos in support. Now he gives the handball. Good play, drew the player on the mark. Roos looks forward. Stevens gives him the lead, goes down low and takes a comfortable chest mark. Wants to move the ball on forward, but just pops it up in the air. He's got Lynch, who's had a good battle with Handley all day. Couldn't control it, though.
Perhaps we've underestimated the wind out there at times. It might have been a little bit fluky because there has been a lot of poor kicking, hasn't there?
Yeah, certainly conditions aren't ideal. Stoner brings the ball back into attack for Geelong. Hocking just does a beautiful blind turn and then sweeps a handball to the dangerous Riccardi. He moves the ball on quickly off one step. At the back of the pack there was McNeice. McNeice couldn't take it, but Guard can. Woody could have aimed at the boundary line. I'm sure Gale had that in mind. He trickles the ball over the boundary line. And we'll set up play as we see Gale giving Riccardi a huge mouthful. Gale started on Ablett. Ablett's now on the boundary line. Obviously, he's one of the stoppers for Fitzroy.
Some strong hard work there. Here's Gary Hocking crashing his way through the back, and from the boundary line brings it across the face. Still in play, actually. Barnes couldn't take it away. There's three Fitzroy players here. This is Caven. Caven will look for Johnston. Johnston should kick it. He wants to handball. He kicks it around towards Fleming. Fleming couldn't take it. Here's Baldwin. Loses the ball in the tackle. Forsman goes to the line, and over it goes. So it's right in front of our commentary box here, and to do the ruck work is the best ruckman in the competition, according to Gerard Healy. Barry Stoneham versus Abbott. He was beaten for that one by Abbott, and Wine sees it to the line. So, and Barry Stoneham with the big grin on the face. Very athletic footballer, top player. Paul Abbott, he's had a pretty good game also. Now, Abbott and Stoneham. No winner in that contest. A holding decision to Forsman, and he'll take it at half forward.
Gets the ball on quickly to Hocking. Hocking coming into this game, looking for some form. Brownless wasn't paid that mark. Thought he might have controlled it long enough. Ruse goes to ground and will take the free kick for taking it high. Is that one there, Tim?
I didn't think so.
No, that's his mate.
Jeremy Gard with the ball now. Once again, a poor kick from Ruse, but it found its target. The ball is slippery and probably a little heavy. Good mark from Lynch. Lynch has got Osborne at the top of the square. At the back of the pack will be Sartori. He pushes Bairstow out, but will be paid the mark. Thought it was a pretty crude push from Sartori, but not picked up by the umpire. So Sartori, who's kicked 2 goals to date, should move Fitzroy even closer. 30 metres out. He's put through another goal.
This year, in schools all around the country, 500,000 kids put on their thinking caps for the Australian Mathematics Competition for the Westpac Awards, the world's largest maths competition. It's not a matter of who comes first or last. It's about learning just that little bit more, so that we move one step closer to becoming the clever country.
Westpac is proud to sponsor the Australian Mathematics Competition.
I've been working here for 7 months now, right? So if I leave, how much holiday pay have I racked up?
I work long hours and I don't think I'm being paid enough. How can I check?
I've heard I have to pay my workers 3% superannuation. Is that right?
They've docked my pay.
What are your rights under your award? And what are your award obligations? If you've got questions to ask about your award, we've got the answers. Because now, your rights are on the line. Wage line, 655 1333.
Better get yourself together, darling. Join the human race. Where we all shine on. Like the moon and the stars and the sun. Yeah, we all shine on.
This Sunday, Burke Street will go back to the way it was. We'll also pull down the Rialto building and clean up the Yarra. See Melbourne the way it was in our full-colour lift-out. Melbourne City Council's 150th. It all makes sense in the Sunday age.
If your face was square, shaving would be simple. But your face has curves. Introducing the revolutionary Chic FX, the only twin-blade razor that flexes to follow the curves of your face. Chic FX. We're changing the face of shaving.
He's pleased to be introducing 2 new taste sensationals from Dawn. Hello, it's Tasty Tomato Frankfurt with real tomato.
Hello, it's Tasty Cheese Frankfurt with real cheese.
It's pleased to meet you.
It's pleased to meet you, too.
Dawn is good.
I've just turned 19 and, shouldn't I get a pay rise? And how do I check?
Now you can find out your award entitlements. Because now, your rights are on the line. Wage line, 655 1333.
Experience the emotion and grandeur of the Barcelona Olympics closing ceremony in 7's exclusive replay, 8:30 Monday night.
So, a vital 5.5 minutes coming up for Fitzroy. They hope to get up with Geelong. There's Gary Hocking out of the centre. Oh, the bounce over the back. Oh, racing out at Seacamp. That was good play to Ruse, and they're holding on pretty well, Fitzroy, to the half-back line. Good mark, Michael Gale. Of course, his brother Brendan plays for Richmond. Michael Gale, dangerous pass. You'd never have been on. Brown. Oh, kicks it off the side of the boot. Bruns races back with the flight to take it. Neville Bruns will probably kick it in short here. The lead is on Miles. Punched away by Caban, who's done fairly well. Here's Jimmy Wine. Tapping on the Baldwin. They're off and running, Fitzroy. And a free kick. Is that down the ground or will it come back? I think it's coming back to the half-back line. So it is a Fitzroy kick going the way of Jason Baldwin. We should be bombing it in long here. Into the breeze. Alistair Lynch, the flyer, almost a good mark. Couldn't quite hang on. Would have paid that, Gerard?
Definitely.
Look pretty good. There's Mansfield. Fitzroy players in numbers. That was Johnston. to the half-forward line. Fleming versus McGrath. McGrath punches it to the line.
The game is probably still quite evenly balanced, although we are predicting a wind change at any moment, which could favour Geelong, who may end up with 3/4 of assistance with the breeze. Over the head of Scott. Backing back there was Roos, takes the ball well. Kicks a mongrel torpedo into attack for Fitzroy. And they've got a couple of players in Lynch and Osborne in pursuit. Lynch taps it forward. Osborne goes to the ground, but's first to recover. Has a swipe, has a second one. This time he uses the fist and gets it to the centre of the ground for Baldwin. Baldwin comes forward, takes one high from McGrath. But here comes the Redhead Brigade. McGrath, Stoneham and Bruns. Bruns goes long and finds Brown, who really has given Geelong a lift across half forward. Good spearing kick finds Barnes. Has been shifted to full forward, or the forward pocket possibly. Has given them some height up in the forward line.
It was a great kick, wasn't it?
That was a beautiful pass, and John Barnes is a good long kick himself.
Well, Barnes will be lining up for his second goal of the season from 50 metres out. Ablett had no trouble in the first quarter, and Barnes replies with one in the third. John Barnes kicks his first for the afternoon. And Geelong move further ahead, 12-12-84 to Fitzroy, 9-5-59.
That was a good smart kick by Brown, then seeing the space out in front of John Barnes and opening up the angle to goal. And they've made another move, Geelong. They've brought Handley away from full back off Lynch, and they've brought Billy Brownless down there to the back line.
Well, Geelong have absolutely dominated the centre bounce takeaways. At present, it's 15-6. That's one area where Fitzroy must improve. This time they win it out through Osborne's kick.
To the half-forward line, racing at it is Kenny Hinkley. Tons of time, playing against his former club, of course. Centre wing is Bairstow. Bairstow brings it in towards the pocket. Seacamp, 2 bites, great mark. And there's a Fitzroy player hurt up there. They'll pick him up in a minute. It's a Lyon, I think. I think it's Ross Lyon as Armstrong goes wide and puts it over the line. We're 2.5 minutes to 3/4 time, and it looks like an arm injury to Ross Lyon. He said that'd be a bad blow to Fitzroy. Well, it could be a wrist.
I think forearm. I think you're right first up, Pete.
Well, it's a centre wing as McGrath takes it to the line. It'll be another throw in.
Make a good kamikaze pilot, Ross Lyon, wouldn't he?
Well, just coming back from suspension, he's a very vigorous player. 12-12 to 9-5 is the score. And again, it's over the line. The crowd roaring.
Once again, the throw in. Jeremy Gard onto Gale. Stevens round the corner. Couch looking for a possession. Through comes Hocking. Osborne's in there as well, but Hocking takes possession, gets it out to McGrath. McGrath looking for Handley, who's been shifted to centre half forward. Couldn't take it. Caven comes out. He also dropped what he should have taken. Coaches throwing their players around everywhere now. Barnes with the ball. Underneath it was Merriman and Couch. They spoiled each other. Good pressure here from Fitzroy. Bruns gets the ball as far as Riccardi. He bobs up, kicks a short left footer as far as McNish, who wants to play on. Perhaps it was touched in flight. Couch from 45 metres out. It's a great kick from the Brownlow medalist.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1992 AFL Premiership season.
Well, 3/4 time, Geelong 13-12-90. Led Fitzroy 9-5-59. A lead of 31 points to Geelong. Fitzroy certainly have the job ahead of them. Let's go to some highlights of the final quarter. It round the corner. Once again, a blind kick only as far as McGrath, and that's been Fitzroy's problem all day. Blind kicking. This one's a good pinpoint one, though. Finds Stoneham, who executes another drop punt perfectly to give it to Scott. Scott bounces the slippery ball. He's retarded by Baldwin. Good chase there from the Fitzroy runner. But Scott bobs up with it again and delivers it nicely to Brown. It's too easy at the present time for Geelong. They're just looking a shade of class above Fitzroy. Miles slides in to home base and takes an easy chest mark. So Jeff Miles, 25 metres out. That's a better looking kick, and that's a goal. Seacamp's been a pretty good player for Fitzroy. Gets the ball as far as Fleming. He handballs over to Roos. Gives it on to Dundas, who can't run because he's not fit. Straight towards Osborne. Osborne at the back. It was touched initially by Hocking, so no free kick. Round the corner he goes, though. Good goal, Richard. David whips it out to Seacamp. Looking for Guard, who really didn't approach that with any confidence. Dropped his eye level. Big punch from behind by Caven on Miles. Riccardi with the ball. He could goal this with a dangerous left foot. Round the corner he goes. Barnes will shepherd this through. Great goal to Riccardi. Umpire saying time off. You can have your kick, Jimmy, as the players are getting drenched now. Still that south wind hasn't come through the change. Merriman on to Stoneham. Will he finish the day with a goal? It's a beautiful kick. Oh, great goal to Barry Stoneham. Yes, a great way to finish the game from Barry Stoneham, who incidentally was probably best on the ground. But the final score there, Geelong 17-18, 120. Comfortable victors over Fitzroy 10-8, 68. For Geelong, Miles, Couch and Riccardi got 3. Satori and Lynch got 3 apiece for Fitzroy. And of course the bad news for Geelong supporters is that Gary Ablett has a suspected torn hamstring and will probably miss up to 3 weeks. So his finals campaign is in doubt. For Fitzroy, also some bad news. Ross Lyon has a broken arm and his season is probably finished. We'll take a break and be back shortly.
To develop the most advanced four-wheel drive in the world, we tested it in the most rugged country on earth.
Mitre 10 presents the great Aussie winners. Wattled Solar Guard paint and Titan nails. Good grief, plum hammers. Look at this, Lufkin tape measures. Marley, Laser Light 2000. Yes, yes, Bradford insulation. Bosch power tools and James Hardy plank. Boral Cyclone gardening tools. Magnificent. Bailey ladders. And look at this, Kinnear's Rogue. Aussie winners, hardware bargains. Just ask Mitre 10.
World-renowned Spanish tenor Jose Carreras, his new album Friends for Life. 16 brand new Carreras recordings. Featuring the theme from the spectacular closing ceremony of the Games, especially written for the event by Andrew Lloyd Webber. New on CD and cassette, Friends for Life from Jose Carreras.
So many things, ooh, yeah. Great things to do. Great. All in one place. Yeah. Under the water, up in the air, yeah. Ooh, party time. This is the best. Great. Careful, forget the rest.
If your face was square, shaving would be simple. But your face has curves. Introducing the revolutionary Chic FX, the only twin-blade razor that flexes to follow the curves of your face. Chic FX. We're changing the face of shaving.
Oh my goodness, a chip!
GIO Australia have more ways to save money on protection for your home. Phone GIO Australia for a better deal on your household insurance.
I met a girl, Dars.
Lives will be changed forever.
Billy!
Some by love.
I love you.
Others by fear.
He just lay there and there was nothing I could do.
Innocence lost.
I can stop whenever I want.
Heartache the cost.
What if he never wakes up? I'm scared to death. Stop it!
IXL presents A Country Practice, returns 7:30 Monday.
Well, there was a big game at the MCG, and Essendon certainly have bounced back after their drubbing at the same ground last week at the hands of Hawthorn, and they had a comfortable 32-point victory over Melbourne, 19-12, 126 to Melbourne, 13-16, 94. Major goal kickers for Essendon, Salmon 6, Anderson 3. For Melbourne, Jakovic got 4.
Time now to check the CUB AFL 1992 Premiership Season League ladder.
And the big news, particularly for Geelong supporters, is that they are back on top of the ladder. Footscray, of course, had the bye this round, so they'll have to wait until next week. West Coast, well, they're in third spot by virtue of match ratio only, but they certainly are looking very dangerous. St Kilda and Carlton have got a game to go. Collingwood are the real side that is under pressure. 52 points and 2 losses in a row. They really will have to rethink their progress this season. Hawthorn are still out of the 6, but are looking dangerous with a far easier run home than Carlton. Now, tomorrow's games, we've got a couple of big games on tomorrow. West Coast versus Richmond at Subiaco, 1 p.m. Brisbane versus Adelaide, a real trap up there for Adelaide. The Bears have been quite competitive in Carrara, or at Carrara this year. And the big game of the round, of course, St Kilda versus Carlton at Waverley, starting at 2 p.m. And the next round, of course, West Coast versus Fitzroy on the Friday night. Carlton and Footscray, well, that certainly will be probably match of the round. Richmond and Hawthorn, Geelong and Brisbane to complete Saturday's games. On Sunday, Sydney play Melbourne, North Melbourne and Collingwood, Adelaide and St Kilda, and Essendon have the bye. Well, that just about takes us out from AFL Today. Don't go away, we'll be going straight to Barcelona. Hope you enjoyed the action. Good night.
This has been another 7 Sport production, the network of the 1992 Barcelona Olympics.